Sam Hunt.
Sam Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt that guy writes his songs.
Definitely not. What song did he? What was his big one? Blue Jean Backwash or something.
Mouthwash residue.
Yeah, it's just like
Body Like a Back Road.
Body Like a Back. That legitimately is the same thing.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
You just got tagged in a thing that was one of those build your ultimate. You got 70 points. How are you going to build your ultimate rock band? I hate all those things. Whenever I see them pop up, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be this. Let me look. What are the options though?
I especially dislike the ones that are like you've got $5 or you've got $10. It's because I don't like buying people. I think it's a bad thing.
That's true. Yeah, you say points.
Right. So this one is build your own rock band. Somebody tag me in it. I don't have any interest in actually doing that because I don't know music that well.
Yeah.
But the person who tagged me in it has Father John Misty as their
what? It could be he was the drummer of Fleet Foxes.
That's true. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
He is their singer.
They got him on the Vokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ideal rock band would honestly be singer Father John Misty, guitarist Father John Misty, drummer Father John Misty.
You might not know was in Fleet Foxes. We should make something like that. That's like build your ultimate whatever, but it's like we have to choose what whatever means for sure. We got to think of something there, but it's just like a mess of people that are just the only people that we ever talk about.
Yes.
So it's like build your ultimate rock band for like you have $5 to spend. You can just spend all $5 on Josh Tillman, or you can spend like $1 on like
Young Donna
bootleg on who's the big bootleg guy we talk about?
Bootleg Tom Hardy.
Yeah, bootleg Tom Hardy. See if maybe he plays some stuff. You got we've not perused his Wikipedia page. It could say bootleg Tom Hardy is an American actor, singer, director.
That'd be something.
Whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. And then you just fill out a bunch of those things. Also, if I got like a build your ultimate rock band thing, I'd be like, all right, how much for Benny? Is Bjorn on the list? We got Agneta. Can we do that? I would just basically build ABBA and like ABBA, but the drummer is Father John Misty.
I would pick. I would add my guitarist would be Gary Clark Jr. But you have to mention that he is in either Friday Night Lights or Chef.
Yes, so we have to do like build your ultimate anecdotal rock band.
Yes,
and it's Father John Misty. One of them is real name Josh Tillman.
Yeah. That's true. One of them's Father John Misty, real name Josh Tillman. Father John Misty, Hotel Artemis. Father John Misty was the drummer of the Fleet Foxes.
Was drummer of Fleet Foxes. What's another one? There will be some Misty talk in this one. I had a huge moment for Father John Misty anecdotes. It was like an all-timer. We were waiting in between Jason Isbell and Father John Misty's sets. Gotta say, Father John Misty really had it on him to be the comic relief. They both artists were very aware of like, we are putting on the most depressing tour imaginable. Because on one hand, you have Jason Isbell, who's like, a lot of his vibe is like I've done some bad things in my day, and one of the lines of his songs is I sobered up and I swore off that stuff for good. And there's like a huge cheer when he sings that, which my friend and I were like, wow,
an interesting reaction.
Another sign that like the world is slowly but surely getting better. Like 15 years ago, I feel like if somebody had a lyric in their song like "I'll never touch alcohol again," people would be like, "Soft, yeah, like, let's get drunk." Yeah, what my friend did point out, she was like, "It is a little odd that like everybody who is here and is drunk is like raising their poison.
Fuck
in his
alcohol!
Face. Like, yeah, you did it, man. We're proud of you. But anyway,
no, it's just the support for the guy on stage
Right.
getting his life together.
Yeah. So in between those their sets, we were talking to this awesome like duo of, I don't know if they were a couple or what, but I said afterwards, like they walked away, I said to my friend, I was like, you just gonna like let them go? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, if I met people like this in Boston, she lives in Philadelphia, I was like, I would like,
get their number,
get their information.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, like there's some good ones here. What's up? Let's hang out. There's this guy that looked like Jason Mantzoukas, was like the friendliest, nicest guy in the world. His either friend or girlfriend, partner, whatever, she didn't know anything about Father John Misty.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, well, this is...
You're standing next to the right guy.
Right. I was like, well, this is how you do, like, I'll help be
First things
your
first.
like drug guide.
He was the
basically.
drummer in the Flea Foxes.
So I didn't even get a chance to get into any Father John Misty anecdotes because I was like, so you've never seen him before. How about you? His name was Chris, but again, real, just like a friendlier Jason Mantzoukas. By the end of it, in my head, this guy was so nice that I was like, he's friendly Jason Mantzoukas, that I was like, do I now think that like Jason Mantzoukas
is an unfriendly
is
guy.
mean?
He seems
Yeah.
like a nice guy.
Right. I was like, this guy's Jason Mantzoukas, but like way nicer. Not that like not the super mean, aggressive stuff that you normally get out of Jason Mantzoukas. And he was like, yeah, I saw him once. It was a few years ago. It was at a music festival. It was this like XPN fest or whatever. And in my head, I was like, why is that ringing a bell? I was like, oh, was there like a ship in the background when he was performing? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, did he only play like one song and then have a
meltdown?
rant? And he was like, yes. He was like, he just like yelled the whole time and then he got off the stage. And I was like, you were there for the Father John Misty rant. And he was like, is that like a...
He wasn't aware that this is like a famous rant.
Yeah, I was like, was that like a notable thing? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And so this guy had not gone back and watched the video or whatever. He was like, we remembered that like he was very upset, and it was right after Trump had gotten the Republican nom, but it was very difficult to understand what he was saying, or if he was joking, or what he was doing.
It's pretty
I was
funny
like,
because we just talked about that on last week's episode.
Right. So I was like, oh man, that's crazy. You were there for that.
This guy didn't even know that he was a part of history.
Right. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and the next thing that he put out after that was the Pure Comedy album, and it kind of put all that rant in context. That made his friend very interested, because she was like, oh, so he was realizing in real time, this is very bad, and like entertainment and just putting stupid stuff out there has basically led to the rise of Trump. And I was like, yes. And then he basically had a whole album about it. And she was very intrigued. And by the end, when he played Pure Comedy, both that girl and my friend were like, and my friend, I was really forcing Father John Misty on her, and so she knew the songs by the time she saw him. But by the end of it, after she saw him play Pure Comedy, she was like,
I get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. And this guy's awesome. But yeah, that's one of the big Father John Misty anecdotes, that he had a rant.
Hell yeah.
So on your scorecard, how would we price these? So real name Josh Tillman.
I think that's got to be the big moneymaker.
That's the big one.
Yeah. You get a lot of use out of that one.
Yeah. Had a rant is probably maybe the cheapest
Last,
one.
yeah.
Was the drummer of Fleet Foxes?
I think that's got to be second.
Yeah.
And then Hotel Artemis, not the biggest movie, so I think that can go third.
So Father John Misty, actor, ? Because you get both Hotel
True,
Artemis
and
Stranger Things,
Yeah.
which he, of course,
Turned down.
He was not in it. He did not play his Star is Born song, but I now have context on why he felt the need to do it. Jason Isbell played his Star is Born song.
Okay.
Because Jason Isbell wrote the "Maybe it's time to let the old ways die."
Oh, really?
So I was like, when he sang that, I was like, damn, that's a really good song.
I know they should have something in their contracts for that movie that they are not allowed to play those songs because or Bradley Cooper should just give them a bunch of money to be like, hey, please don't make me look bad.
Yeah, right. You hear that and you're like, man,
right?
That
it's like a person who's actually a musician,
right? Someone who could sing that better than Bradley Cooper wrote that, which is a very Nashville thing anyway. Whenever like a star gets big. You're like, oh, let me check out this guy. You look at his Wikipedia page, and it's like, before releasing his debut album, he wrote songs for Luke Bryan, all these people that like,
all
he
these
was
idiots.
way worse than. Yeah. Like, basically, you cut your teeth in Nashville by just, like, eating shit. And it's like, hey, great song. Let's give it to somebody who sings worse,
sucks.
but has posture
and like, a nice face.
Right. Is Luke Bryan even hot?
If people think that he is, I don't think so. He's very doofy.
Oh, he is the definition of doofy.
Yeah.
You've heard it here before. For sure always has a pencil on him. And every time he does anything wrong, says, I'm such a doofus.
Yes.
I'm such a doofus.
Who was the other one? The one who played college football? Sam Hunt?
Sam Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt that guy writes his songs.
Oh, definitely not. What song did he... What was his big one? Blue Jean Backwash or something?
Mouthwash residue.
Yeah, it's just like
Body Like a Back Road.
Body Like a Back. That legitimately is the same thing.
Yes.
Body Like a Back Road and Blue Jean Backwash.
Oh god, that's so gross.
I could make a song called Blue Jean Backwash.
You should.
It would just be like, it would be about a girl who left, and now I'm stuck with the Blue Jean Backwash.
L.A. lady. Blue Jean Backwash.
Yes, it would essentially be right. Well, so Bernie Taupin and Elton John, they're cutting their teeth, just giving a stupid podcaster a skeleton for his song, and then one day maybe they'll get big.
Yes. Yeah.
We haven't seen Rocket Man again yet. That surprises me.
It doesn't really surprise me because there's movies coming out now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of movies.
There's movie. Oh, shouts out to me. I was sexist and problematic accidentally.
Ooh.
So I was in Philly this weekend with my friend Sam, who is the. If there's anybody that's better at social media than you, it actually might be my friend Sam.
She does team accounts, right?
Yeah, she's like in charge of the Eagles.
Okay,
I think
she was in charge of the Flyers.
Yeah,
she had the tweet, the Walking Dead tweet.
Yes, the iconic "Let's go, Lucille."
Yes,
tweet. Yeah. So she was like, "Are you still seeing movies as regularly as you usually do?" And I was like, "Starting to do more now because they're finally coming out." But for a while, they were just nothing. And she was like, "All right, what good movies have there been this year?" I named a couple, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't really think of anything else." What's that?
This year?
Yeah, just like
post Oscar season. Not
right?
really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like this isn't the time for it. And later, I was like. Oh, she brought up Booksmart later, and I was like, "Oh, I did see Booksmart, and it was really good." And she was like, "Huh." But if you forgot about it right away, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" There's that, like, without knowing it.
I did see Booksmart last
second
week.
time?
No, I saw it
you
last
hadn't
week
seen
for the
it
first
yet?
time. No,
Man, so that was a describe to one other movie. What'd you think?
I thought that it was really good.
Yeah, I think really good is correct.
And might have suffered from a little bit of overhype because everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is fucking amazing!" But like, it was exactly what I hoped that it would be. I thought the chemistry between the two girls was awesome.
Oh yeah,
they were both awesome. A kid that I absolutely loved in that movie too was the one who has the party that nobody goes to. Like the loser who tries hard.
Oh yeah.
And like he just tries so hard. That kid was hilarious.
Yeah.
And also like adorable.
Then I liked the nightmare woman that's like just keeps showing up.
Oh
with
yeah,
more drugs.
Yeah. I mean, she was great. There were a lot of great characters in that movie. So that I would for sure recommend, and probably like one of the better movies that's come out this year is post Oscar season.
Yeah, but now we're getting like every week we're getting at least one or two movies. I've already bought my ticket for yesterday.
I bought my ticket for Lion King this morning.
Oh, they are talking about Lion King and how it's going to be a tough ticket.
Yes.
I haven't gotten it yet. I did see a trailer for Lion King today, and I got to say, people I think are in for a rude awakening.
Why?
Because it's quote unquote live action It's made to look like it's real tigers and tigers.
Lion.
It's all real lions and such.
Lions, tigers, and bears.
Here's the thing that people don't realize, though, or I think that they realize it, but they're not going to be thinking it as they watch the movie. No lion looks happy or cute that is older than like 4 days old. So you're going to be watching, like, I don't know how it's going to look, like the juxtaposition of a lot of menacing, horrifying-looking lions shot super close as they're supposed to be singing Elton John and like bathing each other.
Yeah, but I mean, like
it's gonna be a more menacing-looking movie than I think people
There's not a lot of like
expect.
adult lion songs. I feel like most of the songs come from.
It's not adult though. It's when you are more than 1 day old as a lion, you look like a freaking lion.
No, there's like
so
a cub
even
stage.
kids, so even like Hakuna Matata, that's a teenage lion, whatever the equivalent would be. Cool, that's a big lion with a mane and is scary.
Sure, yeah,
It's not going to have a Matthew Broderick face.
They're pretty
It's going to have a
stoic
lion face.
creatures.
They're not stoic.
Stoic means like they're like serious, right?
Stoic means like expressionless, serious. Yes, lions aren't expressionless. They look like things that
They're
are
either
trying to
stoic
eat
or
something.
scary.
Okay, so if your best case scenario is it's a stoic-looking lion, if you see a stoic-looking lion, you think, I bet that's going to eat me.
Let's hit some Elton John.
Right, yeah, you know what? I was thinking about that, too. I was like, let's just get some videos of, like, lions eating stuff and just, like, set it to the one.
Why didn't they have Elton John, like, back for the soundtrack?
I'm
Surprising,
assuming
he's still alive.
I'm assuming they're still going to use those songs.
They're going to use the songs, but I mean, they're clearly doing like their own interpretations.
They got to make them scarier because it's
Yes.
a bunch of scary ass looking lions. So Josh Tillman's going to be singing them instead.
That'd be great.
I mean, Josh Tillman basically is like darker Elton John. So if you're going to go from fun Matthew Broderick looking animals to real looking lions, might as well darken up the music as well. Just have like Jason Isbell and that's the tour of the people who voice all of the music in The Lion King. I also saw a trailer for Dora the Explorer, and that looks awesome. I don't know anything about Dora the Explorer other than that she asks a lot of questions, and it's peak season for asking a lot of questions. They love showing that. They love taking the video of that guy that used to do that show that I didn't ever watch it. I don't know what age bracket it's for.
What are you talking about?
But the guy that does he would ask questions during his show. It's like they would either demonstrate stuff or learn about stuff, and it was like a mystery type thing. You've for sure seen this. People will. It's like a meme now where it's the guy asking a lot of questions. Like, you ever wash your car, and then like it'll be the intro for something.
No, I don't know.
For sure have seen it. Every meme is like me sleeping, my kids at 4 a.m.
Have you ever walked out of a mall into a huge parking area and realized you'd forgotten where you parked your car?
Ever gone mountain biking?
What do you want to be when you grow up? What's the right tip?
Have you called a plumber to your home lately? How superstitious are you?
How much money would it take to make you spend a night in a cemetery? Would you display this as a trophy? Do you have a pet? Do you have a sweet tooth? Do you believe in the power of a curse?
Have you had your hearing tested lately?
Planning a trip soon? Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
Do you love to go a-wandering beneath a clear blue sky?
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Are you careful with your personal records? Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own? Have you ever visited a Chinatown section in a major city?
Have you ever visited a flea market? Have you ever visited a truck stop? Did you ever have a job as a waiter?
Have you noticed how many successful restaurants are theme-based these days?
Have you ever had the desire to write your initials in wet cement?
And it's just like a super cut of like, you ever wash your car? Do you know the number for the police? And it's like 15 different things
I've
all
seen
back to
this.
back. Yes, you have.
All right.
Yes, you have.
I guess I'll believe you, but I don't recall.
But it's like peak question asking season. If you're a person that asks a lot of questions, they're going to make a movie out of you or a meme out of you. But the Dora the Explorer movie looks... Did you see the trailer for it?
I believe so. It's the live action one, right? And,
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Believe it or not, they're making a live action version of a cartoon.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
with real lions.
Did I tell you that I saw Dumbo?
Yes, you did.
And not very good.
Yeah, you didn't have much on it.
No.
Not much to report
Yeah,
back.
no, not very good. Didn't like it. But yeah, it is what it is. I didn't expect that one. I expected that one to be the worst. Actually, that's not true. I expected Aladdin to be the worst of the bunch, and Aladdin was great.
We're playing with house money now. Now that Aladdin ended up being good, is like we expected that to be the bad one. So now, if any of these ones that we want to be good or bad, it's like well, whatever. It all comes out in the wash.
Well, I think it's kind of like it's evened out a little bit because Dumbo was worse than I expected. Although I didn't have super high expectations for it, but I think that's also because like I saw the reviews come out on it.
Dumbo was like a huge don't care for me. So if I ever see it, I don't know what my expectations would even be. We saw these trailers while waiting to see the fourth Toy Story. Toy Story 4, as it's called. I think that we were both on the same page that we didn't need a fourth Toy Story, but whatever.
I'm not going to complain about it.
I'm not going to turn it down.
Yeah.
I did when I was seeing it. A guy walked in with a baby, and I was
I had a real rowdy theater.
Really?
Yeah. Like I sat next to a child who was singing along during some of the songs, which was cute.
Nice.
And then behind
great song.
me, there was
Don't
like
throw yourself away. There's a new Randy Newman one.
Yes.
Yeah. What else was there?
There was a screaming child behind me. Didn't love that.
I had a screaming baby on my flight this weekend, and
was it me?
It was right in front of me.
I scream and I cry like a baby every time I fly.
It was right in front of me, and everyone handled it right. They were all like, "That is adorable. We love that baby. Keep screaming." And I liked it. Shouts out, scream babies. Yeah, this guy walked in though with a baby, and I was like, "Has that baby seen the first three?" Like. And if so, it's an awful lot of screen time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
you've already racked up hours and hours.
Half of this baby's life is dedicated to watching
been screen
Toy Story.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know what the downside of screen time is supposed to be, but basically you're going to grow up. You're going to end up having screen time anyway. Like screen time is bad for adults, and they're still doing that. So
yeah, I agree. But Toy Story 4. I thought that it was kind of delightful. Like,
I liked it.
It wasn't the best of the bunch, and
no,
it doesn't. I don't know if I'll like. I don't know if it'll stick with me for a little while.
Spoiler: it's not going to, because you know what movies don't stick with you? Toy Story. You don't know anything.
The first one did.
About anything in the second or third Toy Stories.
That's
all
true.
you know is it was very sad at the end of the third one, and there was and in the second one the old white guy turned out to be an asshole. Whoa! Mind blown. Yeah,
that's correct.
These movies are not meant to be retained.
That is very, very correct, because I don't remember a goddamn thing that happens in 2 or 3, and I saw 3 like 5-6 years ago, and I don't recall it at all.
$10. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a very enjoyable movie as I was watching it. I think the one thing that I would have hoped for a little bit more is more shenanigans with Woody and Buzz. They weren't together.
Yeah,
I
think that this
movie.
was. I think that they were basically like, "Hey, Tim Allen, we're only going to need you for like 15 minutes. Get in, say as little shit about Trump as possible, and get out. You're freaking everyone out.
Yeah.
We can't stand having you.
Go
around.
back to your right wing sitcom.
Right. Give Timmy Thomas our best. Just we do need you. We do need Buzz. We'll admit. Just record. Most of Buzz Lightyear's lines were recorded in the first movie, because it was just him pressing his own buttons to play. They legitimately did not use Tim Allen for more than 15 minutes of work.
That was that's pretty. I think that's pretty on point.
Yeah, but I liked this movie a lot, actually. It for sure. I thought it was going to have Wedding Crashers syndrome, because it started real hot and then took a dip, and I was like, all right, it'll come back. And it didn't really. It lost steam, and once you're halfway through the movie and the plot's not getting good, and the movie's not getting anywhere close to interesting again, but I will give the movie credit. What it does is it just added a new character or toy every 5 minutes.
Yes.
And it just kept doing that until the end of the movie. So
it was like cameo porn.
Right. So even as the movie was losing steam, You're like, well, whatever. In a few minutes, I might see a new thing. Oh, Keanu.
You're right, Keanu Reeves, who his character was great. I love him.
Keanu ruled. I actually loved a lot of the new toys in this one. I mean, Forky was the main one.
Figure out who voiced Forky.
Oh, I could immediately, and I'm not good at that. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I pull
it's very
my hair out
recognizable,
watching.
and once you say it, I'm going to be like, oh yeah.
Did you not look it up?
No.
Tony Hale.
Tony who?
Tony Hale.
Who's Tony Hale?
Buster in Arrested Development and
yes.
the guy in Veep.
Okay.
Who
Yeah.
I started watching Veep this weekend.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Do you watch Veep?
Nope.
It's blows my mind that neither of us watch Veep, and I knew that.
I know that
I should
it's
be
amazing.
watching Veep.
I trust all the people that say that it's amazing. So,
well, look at it.
Right.
It's Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Tony Hale is always funny. He always plays like a very delicate dummy. And my friend was basically like,
the girl from My Girl's in it.
What's that?
The girl from My Girl's in it.
What's My Girl?
What? You've never seen My Girl? Like the movie with like the little girl and what's his name is in it from Home Alone? Macaulay Culkin.
No, man.
Wow, you haven't seen My Girl, dude? What the hell's
No,
wrong
you
with
haven't
you?
seen Veep, you freak.
You watched
Just
Veep
started
the
watching.
first time.
No, I've seen over like 6 episodes. I'm seasoned. But yeah, Forky is the best. He is literally gritty.
He's great.
Gritty.
No, I know, but he's great. Gritty.
He is gritty. He's the stupidest, dumbest, most useless thing in the world. He is made of trash, so all he ever wants to do is
go back to the trash.
Or be in the trash. He just all he cares, everything with him is just about trash. There is a scene in the beginning where it's like the first 20 minutes where the girl makes Forky, brings her home, and every time she looks away, he jumps in the trash. And Woody has to stay in the trash to catch him every time and throw him back on the bed. And there is a scene where they do like, it's like time is clearly passing. It's hours of him just jumping off and being thrown back on, and that was the funniest shit I've seen in my life.
I feel like I
laughed out loud.
I feel like they spent like the first 25 minutes of the movie just with Woody chasing Forky and like saving him from throwing himself away.
Yeah, and
like they literally went back to that over and over and over and over again. It was very funny.
And they had Randy Newman record a new song about like don't throw yourself away. Randy has sounded better, but it's just amazing. So
I can't wait to use Forky as a meme for like calling something trash.
Oh yeah,
you're like trash.
I love
trash.
when he doesn't know what a friend is. So so Woody says to him, "A friend is like you and me," and Forky goes, "Trash." Everything comes back to trash. Yeah, I liked a lot of these characters. Probably Key and Peele were great. Keanu was great. Probably my favorite was Combat Carl.
Oh, is that the three of them?
Yeah,
the three guys.
And they just move their arms a lot and say piñata, and all
one
they
of
care
them
about
keeps
is
missing a high five.
Right. Well, they give high fives, but like as they fix their arms to do high fives, it's hilarious. Very, very good. Also, really liked Vincent/Benson/Binson.
Yeah, the ventriloquist dummies.
Yes, so good. They're just handsome.
I didn't like the girl.
Don't say a word and are really scary.
Yes,
love them.
I didn't like the girl that they worked for. She was a pretty weak villain character.
Right. She was also she was just scary.
Yeah, she was creepy scary for sure.
She was what's her face? She was God. It's like a mental thing. I will never be able to say her name. Think of her name.
Who?
This should just, when I say I can't think of this person's name, it should always be this person. Why can't I think of her name? Still out. Julianne Moore.
Oh, yeah.
I can never think of Julianne Moore's name. She's Julianne Moore in Kingsman 2.
Yeah.
Right.
I
also wore a dress.
Yes. We haven't even talked about Key and Peele.
Yes, we have.
Have we?
Sure have.
Why? When did you say?
Key and Peele were great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Sure did.
Did you? Rack the tapes.
1 minute earlier.
Key and Peele were great. Keanu was great.
Okay. Well, they were great. I agree.
They when they did the so Key and Peele are these two toys that end up with them, and they're a little bit all over the place, and they're trying to figure out how to do something in this store with this old woman, and their first
So
three
fucking funny.
ideas are all, we basically
Murder the person.
rush her.
Yeah.
And eventually they come up with one, and it's like the longest story in the world, most drawn out thing in the world, where they don't like bum rush this woman, and she just goes throughout her entire day with their not doing anything, and then she goes to sleep, and you just see them like rise behind the bed. Hilarious.
The implication is basically that they kill her in her sleep.
Right. Everything is like they jump out and give her a heart attack.
Yes. They were great. I loved them. I think that a lot of this movie, like one of the biggest problems that I had with this movie is that it sort of feels like not necessarily like a bottle episode, but it feels like they really write themselves in circle for like a good portion of the movie.
So like they're always in like this I don't think so. I think they're all over the place.
It's like
Bottle
it's-
episode is like they're in one place and they're solving one problem.
Okay, so it's not one problem, but it's like one problem after another in the same place.
Well, I'll tell you, if you so I said you don't retain anything from the second and third Toy Stories. Here is what happens. One or some of the toys get lost or separated, and they all try to get back together.
Really?
Yes, that's every single. They come to life and they walk around, and at some point, either a human moves them or they get lost, and they're trying to all get back together.
I guess I have no concept.
You would hate
of what
Homeward
Toy
Bound.
Story is. Yeah.
Be like, oh, well, the whole thing of the animals being separated from where they're supposed to be, and that, you know what? In fact,
Well-
I don't like any movie. The whole thing of like a thing is introduced that makes it difficult for them to be doing what they were doing before.
Well, the first one was about like that.
That was about
Sid,
jealousy.
And Sid, jealousy, and Sid being like, "I'm going to fucking destroy."
Well,
this
Sid
toy.
is the thing that separates them.
right, and but there's more of a like a
Existential
death,
crisis,
yeah,
yeah.
death threat with Sid because he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't too much of that in this one, other than the doll wanting Woody's voice box, which he ends up just giving to her anyway.
I'll say strong female lead, Bo.
Yeah, who is Bo? Bonnie Hunt.
I don't know.
Sure.
Would make sense. She has a bonnet.
It's true.
Yeah.
And she hunts Forky.
Yeah, she does. They also still had kind of all of the old toys, and that's the thing. I don't know if they left out any toy they've added over the years, but man, when you keep making new movies and adding in a third one or adding in more and more characters, the only character I can think of that they for sure didn't have was Michael Keaton. And was Michael Keaton the third one?
I don't know. Who did he play?
He played, I think, Ken.
Oh, okay. He played Ken?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, Michael Keaton was in the third one, and he ruled because it was Michael Keaton. But they did a good job of making sure like everyone still got like a line. You know, like
Yeah.
like you heard Jeff Garland's voice. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot he was one of them at one point. That guy from The Princess Bride, whatever.
The
Don't
bald
watch.
guy?
Yeah,
The guy who plays Rex?
yeah. I don't watch Star Trek: The Next Generation. And they still had like all those things, but or all those characters that they'd introduced over the years, but they were still able to keep adding new ones, and they were good. I was thinking as it was going on, like which voices would I like to have in a Toy Story movie, like right now. And before Key and Peele were introduced, I was like, I would love like a duo, like set of toys that's Desus and Mero.
Oh, man.
And then like 1 second later, there was Key and Peele, and I was
Right.
like, I guess that's like the more popular one to do.
Yeah, but...
Or like they've like put in more hours,
Right.
So
yeah.
even if like Desus and Mero would for sure be cooler right now, I'm like, yeah, you guys. Like, I don't know what's gonna be like. Would Andy Cohen be one? Like who's what's like a something that in 2019 you're like you got to put that in. You got to make that a toy.
I don't know. Who's got like the most recognizable voice? Kristen Shaw
Right.
has a
They
great
keep
Toy
using
Story
her. Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
who's got a really recognizable voice these days.
I would say Rashida Jones, but she
wrote
was
the
on the
movie.
other side of the camera. Yeah,
I didn't
Shouts out
realize that she wrote the
Rashida
movie.
Jones. Yeah, she also has a she could be in the Rashida Jones would be in the anecdotal build your whatever.
Yeah.
She's did you know has a baby with Vampire Weekend guy. Did you know is Quincy Jones's daughter? Although her making the Quincy Jones documentary kind of blew up that spot. So I think everybody knows that now.
She has some relation to Tupac. They're like
I
sister.
think her sister dated
Yeah.
Tupac. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a very interesting life story.
Yeah, she's Quincy Jones's daughter. That's like the most interesting life story you could possibly have.
Yeah,
And Peggy Lipton's daughter. Shouts out. Had mother and father, both famous people.
Wallace Shawn is the guy with the
Don't care.
cool
With
man.
the stupid Princess
Yeah.
Diaries guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, who else? Would Anne Hathaway be one? What's
No.
Anne Hathaway been doing?
I don't know. She doesn't.
Oh, I
have-
think Anne Hathaway is doing like she's like full in on being a parent, right?
sure.
I think that everything that comes out about Anne Hathaway is like
doing parenting
related to
stuff.
she's like, yo, I'm not going to be a bad parent.
Actually, you know who has a really recognizable voice, but I think that it's kind of ruined at this point because of the Lego movie. But Will Arnett.
Oh yeah, he's he has like a voiceover voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you could do it
Has
unless
Amy
he's
Poehler ever
Batman.
done a toy movie? Was she in the Lego movie?
She's probably in what's the one where Phyllis ruins everything?
The Office.
No. No, Phyllis rules. What's the Inside Out?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that she's the main character in Inside Out.
Oh
Amy
yeah, you're
Poehler,
right.
right?
You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I
don't know.
Yeah. Text into the show.
Father
Oh.
John Misty.
Also, Josh Tillman would be an awesome one.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody who answered my bathing suit question by sending me bathing suits. Thanks to all of you, just Ellen, the only person who reached out and was like, hey, might this be a good option? So still on the prowl for that good bathing suit.
And I mean, the one because she sent it to me too, and it checks off all the boxes. It's like a solid pattern. It's 7 inches long. It has a button.
Yeah, was it a solid pattern? Oh yeah, there were. The like the embedded picture when she sent it to me was a wacky thing. But yeah, but now those are also expensive. Oh, they're
How
like
much were they?
$70.
$70?
Yeah.
No way.
Which probably
Pass.
I would say like that probably is how much that should cost.
No.
But like
I shop at TJ Maxx.
40, right? Just be $40.
I'm not willing to pay like more than $30 or $40.
No, I can't imagine I've ever spent
anything.
more than right. Yeah, I bought flip flops the other day, and those
How much
were
were
like
those? $2.
you can get those $2 ones that are everywhere. You can get them at Old Navy, whatever. I got some that had like a little more something to them, and they were like $18. And I don't know if I feel good about that purchase.
Yeah.
Is that something that should always be super duper cheap?
Yeah.
because like I wouldn't be. I don't feel good about somebody walking around in flip flops. My guy Tom Giles was wearing flip flops the other day. First comment I made:
Why are you doing that?
"You're wearing flip flops." Nice feet. What are those? What are those flip flops?
Yeah, Toy Story 4. Very good.
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't say very good. I would say very enjoyable.
right, because when you're talking about the Toy Story universe and you say like very good, you're thinking okay, so it's like Toy Story 1. But I don't think again, you don't remember anything from the second and third ones.
It doesn't
I don't think
lose
that
any momentum.
2 or 3 were that great.
No.
I think that
well, 3
people
was
got
really
all
strong.
the feels because it ended on a thing that was supposed to make you cry. But whatever, life's supposed to make you cry, man.
True.
Just
We also.
oh, by the way, distinctive voice, Robin Williams would have been good.
It's true. Yeah, I think we missed the boat on that one.
Hmm.
What do you want to do? We also
He
saw
died.
What?
Come on,
What?
he died.
Oh.
Yeah, so get it together.
We also saw Murder Mystery. We can make that a Patreon review at the end of the episode because
Yeah.
it's fucking terrible.
Well, let's make it. We're in the episode.
We're in the episode,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I also
we-
want to talk about I want to talk about the chef show real quick.
Oh, okay, yeah. We've been watching the chef show, by which we mean we watched we totally somebody filled it, which is look at. I think you do this. You're supposed to do this with like food shows. You don't watch them all in order. You look at, are they making food that I care about, going to a city that I care about, or is there a guest that I care about?
Yeah.
And if there's one or two of those threes, ideally ideally you get two or three, then you watch that. Otherwise, you don't watch it. So we watched the two in which they make the food that you see in Chef, and the one with Bill Burr.
Yeah, I also watched an additional one the Sunday, and so I've seen 3 of them, but I gotta say, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a good thing
very
to have on.
easy watch.
Yeah. Your perspective has changed on this because you thought that the movie was about that guy.
Yes, I thought that Chef was like based on a true story. Didn't realize it was complete fiction. I thought that it was based off of the guy.
It's based on a food trucks have happened, and
That's true. I'm sure it was.
divorce has happened.
Yes.
So inspired.
But I think it should have set me off that Jon Favreau was dating Scarlett Johansson and also had an ex-wife that was Sofia Vergara.
Right.
So I think that that's the most unrealistic part of that story.
Right. I don't know if they were dating. They may have just been H&U.
H&U?
Yeah.
Humping Uglies?
Hooking up.
Oh, okay.
Yikes, man. Everybody knows H&U. What would you guys HU? Yeah, but he does. So they make it with it's Jon Favreau making food with the guy who he got a production credit on the movie, but he was like the guy they had when they were making Chef there to be like,
He's basically the advisor.
yo, right, like when you're making food, this is how you should be holding this knife, this is how you should be standing, this is how like they should be shooting stuff, because he wanted to help make the food
Right.
look awesome, which they said that he felt that food hadn't been
Portrayed correctly.
portrayed like well enough in movies. That guy's never seen cartoons because like food in cartoons always looks awesome.
Yeah, but
You
I
ever
think,
seen someone eating like a cartoon drumstick? Not on.
but I think what he meant was that it was not like the process of making food was not shown correctly.
Right. So to which we say this guy
Hop off a little bit.
has his head up his ass a little bit. Just a little excited
They go
about
into it in
himself.
the third or fourth episode of the Chef Show, where like he was like, "I'm not doing this movie unless I basically get to say what happens because I."
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, I was very much like, I don't need to do this,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm going to do it as long as I get to basically make sure that it's completely authentic.
Right. You do see, though, that probably from working with that guy so much and getting ready for the movie, Jon Favreau did lift some of the mannerisms and some of the kind of social awkwardness. Like the scene, if you watch this guy, and this guy's great. Like I want to go to this guy's restaurants. I want to meet this guy, be his best friend, talk about how food hasn't been correctly portrayed in movies. But the scene where he's walking through the market with, what's the kid's name? Is it Percy?
Yes.
Where he's walking through the market eating the kettle corn, and he's talking about haters, and he's like, yeah, when I was young, we didn't have a word for that. We would, I don't know, I guess you would just say that, like, the person was jealous or something. And it's just, he's weird. That, when you see this guy in action, you're like, oh, like that scene and talking like that is based off of the way that this guy talks. But they make the food, and
They play the hits in the early going,
Yeah.
because they draw from like the food that's made in Chef.
yes, they make the Cuban sandwiches with Bill Burr,
Grilled
and
cheese.
then they make the grilled cheese.
Yeah.
And really, that movie, for as great as the Cuban sandwiches look, we all know that grilled cheese, the crunch of that is elite. What did as this turns into the 5th straight episode of me taking a shot at Lights, Camera, Barstool? What did they put out there? They said, is this
It
like
was
the best food scene in film history? And it was from Chef, and it was like the 5th best one.
It was the grilled cheese scene.
I don't think it was the grilled cheese one.
It wasn't.
No, because it wasn't. I don't think it was the grilled cheese one, and I don't think it was the.
Wasn't the pasta?
It wasn't
one.
the Scarlett Johansson scene, because
Right.
the pasta scene is the best food scene in that movie.
That's what I said.
Right, like that's what everybody said. They were like, "What do you? This isn't the
a lot
best
of
one
people
in
said
that."
a lot of people said the grilled cheese scene.
Oh, yeah, the pasta scene is by far the best one.
best.
Between him chopping the cilantro and everything. The
Maybe the one that they
'Cause the-
posted was the one after he gets fired.
no, I think it was them showing how to make the Cuban sandwiches. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like when they're trying.
Oh, you're
the
right, you're
pork
right, you're
and
right, you're
they're buttering the grill and the griddle. That's like the 5th best food scene in that movie. Because the one when he walks out and he makes the stuff anyway, that's amazing.
That one bothers me though because they don't actually show him eating it.
True. You don't get the payoff.
Right.
But yeah, the Scarlett Johansson one, because he's making the pasta, and the song, A Message to You, Rudy.
Yeah.
Best song in the world. The music in Chef is just as good as anything else.
So
So between like the visual of ScarJo waiting for the pasta, she finally eats it, he makes it, the music, that's a no-brainer. So I found it weird that they chose that one when there's like 8 ones better than it, including probably, I would say that scene is the best food scene in any movie.
Which one? The
pasta one.
The pasta.
Like,
yeah.
I would say that the best food scene from a movie is in Chef, but boys.
Right. Yeah.
It ain't that one.
They
Also, still waiting to hear why the Rocket Man soundtrack was good. Go on.
I will say about the Chef show, if you're hoping to like learn how to make this stuff, it's not a great show.
Oh no, they do a
They
thing
glaze
which is
over everything.
They do a cool visual of, they show in claymation the truck driving, it turns a sharp corner or like gets some air, and all the ingredients fly up in the air, and it pauses for a second, and it shows you them
like
for
3 seconds.
less than 1 second. Less than 1 second. So
Yeah.
I have to keep pausing it. And so if you're watching in bed, there's a lot of like, oh, now I got to reach all the way across my body. So a real physically exerting show.
Yes. Yeah, it's not great. Like, it's not a step-by-step cooking show because they do probably like 3 or 4 or like 2 or 3 items per episode. And
Yeah.
It's like 15-minute episodes or something like that. So they're blazing by things pretty quickly.
And Jon Favreau, knowing that this is supposed to kind of be a food cooking show, somewhat instructional, will ask the chef questions during it to try to get him to like fill in, like, hey, what are these people supposed to be doing? Why do you do this? And he never answers them. And it seems like, and this guy's like the best chef, it seems like he doesn't know the answers to them. I think this guy might just be like a kind of like when Wayne Gretzky tried to coach, and it's like, hey, just
do what
go
I do.
do it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like, this guy just knows what it's supposed to be, therefore he does it.
Well, that's like, I mean, like when they do the cooking scenes and like they're watching something on the grill, there's no like instruction. It's not like set it to this
much or
thing or
yeah.
wait this long, and it's just like, hey, that looks ready, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's eat it.
So he'll be like, hey, so I've heard you're not supposed to add oil to the water when you're making pasta, because then if you're putting something on it after, it can take away from it. And this is right after he put oil in the water. So he'll be like, yeah, some people think that, but it's not a big deal. Like, just don't worry about it, okay?
The first episode, the pilot episode with what's her
Bill
name?
Burr.
Gwyneth
Paltrow.
Way too much of her company.
Yeah,
talk.
that you could tell that she was like, I'll do it
If you pump my company, which
Right.
is what it's got like some
It's called like splooch or something.
yeah, something like that.
It is legitimately sounds like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's something that sounds gross, and I guess like there's a lot of it's a problematic company. I guess.
Really?
Yeah, I guess like she pushes these like
You're not supposed to push people.
yes, unless you're Rob Thomas.
Right.
But yeah, she like pushes these problematic products that like haven't been tested or things like that.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Well, shouts
Take
out,
my word on it.
Shouts out Gwyneth Paltrow, just more of a badass than,
Yes.
than
But the best part of that
I
episode was
envisioned.
her not even realizing that what movie she was in.
Oh, really?
You didn't hear that was like the biggest thing that came out of that episode was that like she didn't realize that
I
she
may
was
have
in Spider-Man
just
Homecoming.
gone to the Bill Burr part of that episode. Because I was like, I saw that it was like in her restaurant, and they were making something that didn't have anything to do with chef.
And it was like a vegan recipe. What's her fucking thing called?
It's like, it is something like sploosh.
Yeah. Goop.
Goop.
Yeah.
Cool.
They did it at Goop headquarters. She was fined. Goop was fined $145,000 for its claims about yoni eggs.
Ah. What were their claims?
Gwyneth Paltrow's
Talking-
Goop hit with big fine for telling women to put eggs in their vaginas.
Oh, no. Really?
Apparently so, yes.
What a disaster. Do you want to talk murder mystery? Want me to fill you in on FJM? I don't know what left there. Actually, you know what? His parents were there.
Really?
His parents were there. He said that he was born down the street from where the venue was, and he says, my parents are here. I had noticed that he was changing some lyrics on the fly during his songs, and I was wondering, like, what's going on there? And then when he said, my parents are there, I was like, maybe he's, like, trying to not say too upsetting things because his parents are super religious, and he grew up to be Father John Misty.
Yeah.
But yeah, his parents are there, and it was a huge night for Josh Tillman mic stand antics.
Oh.
At the end of Pure Comedy, which is like a soft, somber part of the song, he was trying to do the Billy Joel thing where you put the mic stand down, you press on the base of it, and it pops back up to you, and you can like kick it back and forth.
Yeah.
And he just tried to do that like 5 times, delayed the song for like a minute and a half, and then deemed that it was... He was like, kept trying to do it, and he was like, okay, it's not going to happen. Too slippery. It's a slippery, very slippery mic stand. Sorry, folks. And then finished the song.
That's awesome.
The other one was, I tweeted this.
He broke like 1 million mic stands when we saw him in Portland. Remember
There
that?
were a lot. Well, there's still like a mic stand replacement at the end of every song.
Okay.
I honestly think that he may be like a big enough prima donna that he's like, I like it at this height for this song or whatever, because he knows what he's going to do and how he's going to move.
How much of his tour budget do you think is consumed by mic stands?
Mic stands and lights.
Yes.
He actually, I was wondering, I was like, how much money does he get out of a show like that? Because he's got a big band. He's spending a lot of money on lighting.
Right.
He's very big into the presentation.
Splitting the intake anyway with Jason Isbell.
Right. He's also, although maybe to save money, he's cutting back on the wardrobe. He's not wearing a cool suit or anything like that. He's wearing like sweatpants, a tank top, and a like double-breasted jacket.
Okay.
So like the most homeless he's ever looked. But he just amazing set list. Broke out some songs that I didn't think he would play, so that was really cool. He played the song "The Memo," which I think might have like top 3 Father John Misty lyrics. During the part in the middle, right when the song's grabbing you in the feels, and then he starts basically mocking you. He says the line, "Are you feeling depressed?" Woman yelled back, "Yes!" And he stopped the song and was like, "Ma'am, you are here. That
Obviously.
is a rhetorical question." He was like, "You are at a Jason Isbell and Father John Misty concert. I hate to be the one to tell you that you are categorically depressed."
Yes.
So he just he had a lot of he had to have, I think, a lot of like funny moments. So he was talking a bit more than I've seen in the past, because I think that like Jason Isbell's music is more depressing than I thought it would be. So he really had to ramp up the jokes.
Did he play Gilded Cage?
He did not. He did not.
Didn't think so.
No Gilded Cage. No Star Is Born stuff. I don't think he's ever played Gilded Cage.
I don't
before.
think so.
Right.
Next time I go to a Father John Misty show, I'm going to bring a sign that says "Play Gilded Cage."
Yeah. I bet he wouldn't.
No, probably not.
Maybe he'd be like, "Oh, cool.
I
I found
bet
another
you-
way to upset people."
I'm going to get a shirt. I'm going to get a Gilded Cage shirt.
Why
we should make Gilded Cage
Right,
shirts.
just like Gilded Cage by Father John Misty.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah. Gilded Cage by Father John Misty.
Sex is great, but have you ever heard?
Yeah,
Gilded
sure.
Cage?
Yeah, sex is great, but have you ever like bought an Amazon Prime subscription? Because I think that's the only way that you can hear Gilded Cage by Father John Misty.
Yeah.
Ever heard of it? Let's do murder mystery.
Patreon review.
Patreon review only. First, we're going to pay some bills. This episode is brought to you by flip-flops. Yeah, you can get the $2 ones, but what if you spend like $15-16 on them? Are you going to get better quality by spending $15 to $16 on flip-flops than you will if you spend $2? What are $2 flip-flops even going to do for you? I don't know. What are $16 flip-flops even going to do for you? We'll find out when I get my like $16 flip-flops, see what kind of difference it makes.
They won't cut up your face.
Haven't used them yet. We don't know that.
That's true.
So our listeners, keep listening to future episodes of Brunch, and we'll let you know what kind of effect flip-flops have on your feet and your life. Flip-flops. Now, sorry, just had to pay those bills.
Okay.
$16 bill. $16 bill. Let's talk an expensive movie to make. Had to have been.
I'm gonna look up the budget.
Did you feel while watching this was this expensive to make?
They did the Mamma Mia thing where they like shot in exotic locations, but that could have been anywhere.
It was Italy.
Oh, it was Italy.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah. So that
Not
movie
only
had
did
to
they
be
shoot
expensive.
in expensive locations, everything is super extravagant. Plus, at the end, they're like, "Hey, for good measure, let's have a bunch of fires and car chases."
And also, their deal with Adam Sandler was huge to begin with. So like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had like a 5-movie deal with Adam Sandler for like $800 billion.
Well, this one looked up after the movie because the whole time we were watching, we were like, "How much could this cost?" So did the Wikipedia thing, which I think we have to do for all movies after we see them now, to get the backstory on who quit, who backed out.
Yes.
Did you read this for this?
No.
Okay. In 2012, it was reported that Charlize Theron had signed on to star in Murder Mystery. I'll get into this before, actually. I'll say Murder Mystery is a Netflix movie. Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston, our guy from Ma. In June 2012, it was reported that Charlize Theron had signed on to star in Murder Mystery, a mystery comedy set to be directed by John Madden from James Vanderbilt's screenplay. Before the announcement, the project had been set up at Walt Disney Studios with Kevin McDonald to direct. In 2013, it was reported that Colin Firth, Adam Sandler, and Emily Blunt had joined the cast.
What?
Although representatives for Firth and Blunt denied they were boarding the film. In 2013, September 2013, it was reported that both Theron and Madden had left the project and that Anne Fletcher was now set to direct for TWC Dimension. Theron eventually received an executive producer credit on the film. In March 2018, 5 years later, it was announced that Sandler and Jennifer Aniston had signed to star, reuniting them after Just Go With It, their 2011 film. Thank you for putting that in there, Wikipedia. Very important note. Kyle Newacek directed, still with Vanderbilt's script, and the film premiered on Netflix as part of Sandler's distribution deal. So that's kind of it. Began filming June 14th, 2018 in Montreal. In late July 2018, filming began in Italy at locations including Santa Margherita, Ligure, Lake Como, and Milan. So that's the backstory. So
Okay.
people in and out.
Yeah, I think he got a $100 million deal with Netflix for 4 movies,
Wow.
and that's his second 4-movie deal with Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
What other ones has he made that anyone's
They're all
watched?
been bad, I think.
Oh, there was the one where him and Chris Rock, there's the daughters are getting married, or their children
Oh
are
yeah,
getting
that one
married.
was actually pretty good. I kind of like that one.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Nice.
And then there was the one where he played like the Cowboys. I heard that one was terrible, like the
Okay.
Ridiculous Six or something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That one was, I guess, absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the other ones. Maybe they haven't come out yet.
Okay, I'll tell you this about Murder Mystery. It was stupid and bad and served its purpose perfectly. It's just a bad free movie to watch, to spend in. You don't know what it is, who did it the whole time you're watching it. So if you want to be invested in it, you can be as invested as you want.
Yeah, I just think that like I have to have higher expectations.
What were you expecting?
Yeah, I guess, but like you didn't even get that much from Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
I'll say
Like,
it crushed.
Their chemistry
Everybody
wasn't great.
watched it.
Yeah, it had like over 30 million views or something.
Right, and people were saying like, "Oh, see, this shows it should have been in theaters because this is how much money it would have made."
Not everybody
No.
would have went. It's easy
Nobody
because
would
it's
have
on
went.
Netflix.
Nobody would have went. People saw it. They said, "This is a bad Adam Sandler movie on Netflix. I'll watch that."
Right.
No one's saying, "Hey, let's go to a movie starring Adam Sandler that I think looks bad." No one's going to do that.
Right, and it's like opposing Toy Story in opening weekend.
Right. We got smoked.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, like again, we always talk about having to kind of scale your expectations.
Everything's to scale with movies.
Right, and it becomes you scale Adam Sandler based off of his recent movies, which most of them haven't been good.
Yeah.
You also scale to Netflix because it's.
I mean,
free
you can
and
realistically
it's
say
easy.
based off of Adam Sandler movies, most of which haven't been good.
Come on,
There's like no,
in his prime,
everybody knows that those are like stupid bad movies.
but they're fucking hilarious.
right because you saw them when you were a kid.
No, I still watch them now. They're still fucking funny. Like Happy Gilmore is still.
Oh yeah,
unbelievably
I mean,
funny.
I don't want to get into like which Adam Sandler movies were good and which were bad. Like after,
Daddy, great.
Happy Gilmore is A+. Big Daddy, I agree, is also A+.
Billy Madison.
After that, Billy Madison is like one of the stupidest movies ever.
But it's so funny.
It's right. It's fun and everything, but it's like it's a stupid bad movie. Mr. Deeds is as good.
So ridiculous.
Mr. Deeds and like Little Nicky are as good as anything after those two.
Fair.
And I think that a lot of those movies would get crap because people would be like, oh, man, Mr. Deeds is ridiculous. And it's like, okay, cool. So you've grown up 4 years since you last saw an Adam Sandler movie.
And also, like, grown-ups get shit on all the time, but those are also, like, if those were on
I've never
Netflix,
seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
If those went to Netflix, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty good.
Okay. But yeah, basically, I like Adam Sandler and I like Adam Sandler movies, but I mean, I understand they are stupid.
Well, I think that, like, maybe this movie sort of gets hurt by the fact that it comes off as ambitious.
This is more of a... Oh, no, it doesn't. It's so silly.
It's silly, but, like, in
it's not
like,
as, like,
extravagance.
cartoonish as Mr. Deeds. And it could have helped to do that. To have... It needed, like, one or more over-the-top stupid character to let you know, like, this is a stupid Adam Sandler movie. Because it didn't... I agree with you. Like, it didn't have the feel of an Adam Sandler movie.
Right.
It had the feel of a movie where Adam Sandler's trying to just make a normal comedy.
Right. Yeah, and like none of the characters were particularly strong, and
No.
this was like it was a movie that sort of wanted that. I felt
I like my guy Hot Adult from Ma.
Yes, yeah, that guy is a stud.
Yeah. He's all, and I looked up, I was like, what other stuff is this guy in? No, he's not really in stuff. But he's just like a hot guy.
Again,
whenever
he was a
he's
girl
in
on the
something.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that, like, the characters could have been stronger, the performances could have been stronger, but, like, at the end of the day, it's an Adam Sandler Netflix
Right,
movie,
exactly.
so whatever. It was bad. It was a bad.
Of course,
movie.
yeah. But it was like a bad movie that's an okay way to spend time on Netflix. Like, I saw Always Be My Maybe, which everybody, I think, has really liked, with the exception of Jeff. Jeff hates that movie so much.
That's
but,
with
like,
who?
Randall Park. Who else? Keanu Reeves.
Nope.
Yep.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
He's like an extended cameo. Really, there's only two main characters.
Okay.
But it was Always Be My Maybe was like a stupid rom-com and a totally fine way to watch to just spend a little time on Netflix. Like, you know that as you're going in, like, this isn't going to be a classic. Always Be My Maybe, though, is like good and you can reference it and stuff. But it's a similar feel to when you're going into it.
Sort of like
you're
a mindless watch.
Great way of putting it. It's just a mindless watch. And that's what I felt Murder Mystery was. I know this isn't a smart movie. Like, just because I don't know what the twist is, that's just because they haven't shown me the twist yet.
The twist
like,
is stupid.
Right, like, because you can, with the Murder Mystery, you can just keep making any twist you want, and then when they explain it away, and they're like, oh, it's because, then they show flashbacks and stuff, I'm like, well, you could have just not shown that, and it could have been something completely different.
Right.
So, you don't feel dumb for not knowing what the twist is, but you're like, yeah, you know, if you're going to tell me, I'll take the twist. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying no to the twist. So, the reveal and everything is fine, and then they double down with, like, 17 more reveals after.
Ridiculous.
But I thought it was a fine way to watch a movie. It was so stupid. It was sloppy. There's a scene where Adam Sandler is shaving. He's putting all the stuff on his face, getting ready to shave. They're having this big conversation as they're talking about stuff while he's shaving. And the next scene, they're walking around outside, and he's got the exact same stubble he had before. And then, like, 2 scenes later, he's clean shaven.
Really?
Yeah. So stupid.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, if there is somebody who I would expect to fuck up shaving, it would be Adam Sandler, I guess.
Yeah. Adam Sandler sucks.
Some people, to get some brief diversion from the heaviness of politics and your day-to-day grind, and you just want a little fun, a little R&R. Others of you want to be politically challenged and uplifted and motivated to enact change in your communities. But, yeah, and that, you know, has a perfect little space in this fucked up entertainment complex that we have constructed for ourselves. Where do you people realize we have an entertaining tyrant happening right now? Like, hilarious. Where do you think entertainment comes from? Let's venture a guess. So, when we're born, this is where we start. This is the fucking joke. Our brains are too big to make it through the birth canal. So evolution makes us half-formed when we come out. And culture fills the gap. And we just do our best and hope that someone's going to tell us what's right or wrong and whatever not. But when you can find out a way to make one thing more attractive, one way of being more attractive, that's when you get entertainment. Am I right? I'm deeply off script right now. Because, to be honest, like, I don't know, like, what I'm seeing happening right now, I don't know that I can rationally respond to this. It's insane. It's truly insane. Are we just supposed to have, like, a chili off right now? And just wait for someone hilarious to say something hilarious that makes us feel better about it for a second? Do we think that our hilarious tyrant is going to be met with a hilarious revolution that is won by hilarious revolutionaries and the whole thing is going to be like entertaining as fuck the whole time? I'm standing in front of like a battleship. Do you know what I mean? Like a literal battleship in a country. I mean, I can't even say it out loud. I always thought that it was going to look way more sophisticated than this when fucking evil happened. When the collective consciousness was so numb and so fucking sated and so gorged on entertainment. I expected a less cliche evil. And now it's just this bad, it's not even good writing. It's not even a good narrative. How entertaining should this be right now? With a fucking battleship in the background and this shit happening on TV. How fucking fun should this be? How fucking fun can it be? Can it be real in any sense? With that shit, I cannot play bored in the USA for you right now. No. Because guess what? I soft-shoed that shit into existence by going, no, look over here, put your self-awareness on. It will never actually be that bad because we're too smart. And while we were looking in that direction, stupidity just fucking runs the world because entertainment is stupid. Do you guys realize that? Like that at the core? Entertainment is stupid. You're welcome. You may be bummed that homeless Chris Isaac is up here in a half unbuttoned is stupid, but I guarantee you it may be the only thing that sticks out of this fucking hickory smoked fucking abortion that this fucking culture is. Like, maybe you'll remember that maybe you'll remember that. It's not particularly catchy.
Fix on the stand. On the stand.